Hello, and welcome to the Tennessee Informer. Thank you for joining us tonight. As I said last week, the way that we take back our broken Republican majority, the way we fix it is one seat at a time. And some of those seats will be harder to take than others, especially if you're going against a long-term incumbent. And that's the case in District 1. That seat is currently held by Representative John Crawford. Been there a good while, well known in his community. And he does have a challenger. Jessica Means, who is a Sullivan County Commissioner, has thrown her hat in the ring, and she's challenging him for the seat, the August 6th primary. And, appreciate people being willing to do that. That's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do to run for office, period. Then to go in against somebody who's well-funded and has been there a long time, because, the GOP will circle the wagon to protect their own, especially if they're the establishment type. I don't think they really circle the wagons to keep any of the conservatives in, but if it comes to the establishment types, they definitely circle the wagons. So she's our guest tonight, and we'll talk about why she's running and what some of her issues are. But first, a message from our sponsor, LifeWave.
Light, the energy of life itself. Since the beginning of time, light has sustained us, fueled our growth, and shaped the world. Even Einstein recognized that everything we are is made of light. But what if we could harness the light within us, not just to live, but to renew, restore, and rejuvenate? Introducing LifeWave X39, the first product in the world that activates stem cells using our body's own light. Backed by clinical research, multiple patents, and over 10 years of stem cell research, a revolutionary wearable light technology that unlocks the power of activating our own stem cells with a single, safe, affordable, non-transdermal patch that puts you back in control of how you look, feel, and perform. Unlike drugs or chemicals, X39 works naturally, awakening your body's ability to heal and thrive. It's time to unlock your full potential, restore your vitality, and embrace a healthier, more vibrant you.
Welcome back. And now to our guest, Jessica Means.
Yeah, hi. Thank you so much for having me on.
It's good to have you. I've been looking forward to it. You were recommended by a mutual friend, so I know you're solid. I'll be honest with you, I really only try to have good conservative people on. I mean, I'm not interested in just putting somebody on that's not conservative. So I trust the source, even though I don't know you. I trust the source. So I'm glad to have you on. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, I do definitely try to be as conservative. I'm a Christian conservative Republican, and I am a mother at the beginning of the day. I'm a mother, a grandmother. Excuse me. We have 6 children and 2 grandchildren. I'm a small business owner. I've homeschooled off and on through the years. I'm an educator. I'm a farmer. I'm an exercise instructor and a Sullivan County Commissioner. I got involved in politics. Never in a million years thought that this would be where I would be at in life right now. I'm not a career politician at all. I just got in during COVID. I felt there were a lot of government overreach that was happening. And so I'm the type of person that is going to try to do something about it before I sit and complain about it. So I looked around the scope of what was going on in the political lens, and thought, and I just found out that we had commissioners during COVID. So I didn't even know that was a position that we voted on even. So I thought, well, I'll run for that. And then I just took the next step, and won that Sullivan County Commission seat. So I am coming up on my 4th year with that, and it has been a great, incredible honor to get to serve the people here in my district. And I guess what I like in this too is the more you get into this world, you probably already knew, I did not until I've gotten into this more, that we have a construction company. So the best example I can give is once you start getting into the weeds of it and you start tearing down the walls, you start seeing where the problems are. You start saying, oh, the plumbing issue is here or whatnot. And so, yeah, I'm against an incumbent of John Crawford, and um, he's not a bad man. It's just our area, I believe, is on the cusp of something big if we do not intentionally try to pass on our conservative Republican values. And we have nobody to blame but ourselves for being apathetic during these times. And so, yeah, our region is different from Nashville. Our values are different. Our economy is different, and our priorities are different. Um, I want to fight for faith, family, freedom, small businesses, local farms, our infrastructure here, and policies that actually help working people here at home. I believe that John has been making votes to just reflect what Nashville wants him to do instead of just what Northeast Tennessee wants. And well, it's time to stop the bleeding. So that's why I'm here.
Well, it sounds like you've been pretty involved already then.
Oh,
How,
yes.
how long have you been in the area?
Oh, I was born and raised here. Yeah, all of these, I know these roads. I know these people. Um, they helped raise me. I had a child when I was really young. I was 15 when I had him, and I, I'm in love with this community. I'm in love with the people here. They helped to raise me, and I just want to give back as part of my civic duty, I guess you could say. So.
You know, when you said you were a grandmother, I was thinking, man, did you start at 15 or 16? But I wasn't going to say it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, well, so what is it about as far as Representative Crawford? And like you say, he's not a bad guy, but what are there specific votes in general that you think show that he's out of touch?
Yeah, I mean, one vote recently, or the most recent, I believe, is the $37 million to Starbucks that was sent.
Yeah.
That big corporation to come to Tennessee, that corporation is going to bring they're going to
Right.
bring their beliefs and their values here, and we would be foolish to not believe
Right.
that would happen.
Yep.
And I'm very concerned because affordability is a huge issue right now. I'm talking to a lot of people. Gas is really high. He's going to clout that he has a lot of leadership positions. And my question is going to be, what has that done for us here in this area? We go beyond Knoxville, and I believe that we need a representative that's going to demonstrate that.
Yeah.
There's just a lot more we could be doing. So.
Right. So Starbucks, you know how you voted on the Titan Stadium and the money to Ford? Do you have any idea on those?
Yeah, he voted in favor of those. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So, you know, not only is it corporate welfare, but when you bring in those kind of people, like you say, they don't have our values, you know, but guess what? They got a lot of money to give to other people that run for office, Democrats that don't have our values either. And so, I mean, it's like they seem to only bring in these blue companies and they want to give them our tax dollars. And it just happens over and over. And, but that's, so has he caught a lot of flack locally for that?
I think so. I mean,
We'll see what flack he catches by
yeah,
August, right?
yeah. I mean, the problem is you've got property taxes that the county commission has to look at about going up. I never voted for a property tax increase, but when the state is sending that kind of money, that's what I'm talking about. You start tearing down the walls, and then they're telling us on the county commission that this is a certain tax rate that we have to approve. They're contradicting themselves, and I don't like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, and property taxes are a problem all across the state, and they've just gone up and up, especially since COVID, when all the people left the blue states and came here. The property values just went way up, and that's definitely a problem. So, are there specific things that you want to do other than obviously not give our tax dollars to? You don't want to be involved with corporate welfare, especially corporate welfare for woke companies. Are there some other things that you feel strong about, and some of your ideas as far as legislation that you'd like to support or sponsor or support?
Oh yeah, I mean, so in Sullivan County, I led a resolution that was passed unanimously this past January. You're seeing a lot of hype of it right now. It was a data mining moratorium.
Oh,
And so in Sullivan County, and it was at my lead to do that. And we all seen it was hard to see what was happening then, but now, as it has become more highlighted, people understand it a little bit more. So, excuse me. And so I would like the whole state of Tennessee to have a moratorium on it.
I agree.
I think that it would be a wise move for us to do that and to make sure, like we have done right here in Sullivan County, to make sure that it's not going to hurt our farmers and hurt our residents before we say, before we let them come in with welcoming and open arms. I just think that's foolish.
That
Some
was the
other
topic
thing.
of our. I'm sorry. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. What?
I was going to say that was the topic of our show this past Monday was whole AI centers.
Oh,
The resources that it requires. How much electricity it'll use, how much water it'll use, pollution, noise, you name it. And yeah, I agree with you. I'd love to see a moratorium until we figure out what's what on it. And the fact that they seem to be going full steam ahead, they want to just, anytime the government is pushing, let's do this now. We need elected officials that will say, no, let's check it out before we
yeah,
just
yeah.
jump on the train.
Let's pump on the brakes. Let's actually be the watchman on the wall that we are supposed to be elected to be. And let's not, we're elected by the people and for the people. And so I get really frustrated that we don't allow the people to have more of a voice. That's just the whole part of being an American, and just allowing these billionaires and millionaires to just rule the roost. It just why do we even have an America if we're going to do that? So um, yeah, so I led the charge on that. I was just recently endorsed by MAHA, the Make America Healthy Again. I guess, and some people could call me a crunchy mom. I don't really feel like I'm a crunchy mom.
Crunchy mom? I've never heard that term.
Oh,
What's a
you haven't
crunchy
heard
mom?
that? Okay, well,
No.
it's moms that try to have their kids eat healthy, try to have their families eating healthy, and try to just, So we have our own chickens, and we try to do our own chicken eggs. We have our own cattle and try to process our own beef, and so just things like that, trying to get the chemicals out of our foods, and just it's food freedom, I guess. And so I would love to. Sullivan County is very low, like one of the worst. It was either the worst or second to worst county in the whole state of Tennessee as far as their health scores go.
Really?
And yes. And so me being able to have that endorsement is going to be so great for our community. Just to have that proactive attitude about trying to turn that ship around. So I'm hoping to use that. I am the chairman of the Sullivan County Health Council right now. And that is that's just like I said, I'm an exercise instructor. I have been for about 15 years. So it's just something I really love to do. I like to be proactive about those things instead of reactive. And I feel like drugs and all of the other things, and people are just in a helpless situation. So, you feel bad for them, but those are obviously reactive ways to handle whatever they're battling.
Now, Sullivan County, what cities are there? Is that Johnson City? Is that Sullivan County?
It is mostly Bristol,
Okay.
Tennessee, and Kingsport, and there is some of Johnson City in Sullivan County.
So how many people altogether in Sullivan County?
Ooh, I think it's 166,000.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm in Stewart. We got like, I think maybe 15 tops.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I could be off on that number. I would have to check my numbers on that one.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you got more than we do. I know. I mean, if you got those three big cities, you got quite a few people to deal with. Um,
Yeah.
so I got to ask the question, Second Amendment, where are you at on it?
Oh, I'm a diehard Second Amendment. Got to protect your constitutional right to bear arms. Yes, absolutely.
And you're not a Second Amendment butter, right? You know what a butter is, right? Second Amendment butter.
No, tell me.
Oh yeah. Well, I support the Second Amendment, but always followed by some exception or excuse.
Of course.
That's a Second Amendment butter.
Oh, yeah. I like that. Yeah. I'm a diehard Second Amendment. That's your constitutional right. I mean, that's just really the bottom line to it. So, yeah.
Absolutely. What are some other things that if you get elected that you want to promote legislation on when you get up there?
Yeah, I believe our let's see here. We have a public safety concern with AI, and I believe that because of me having kids in this day and age, I believe it just helps me to be a little closer to the situation. I mean, you have childhood pornography, childhood suicide, and an all-time high, and it's all I blame big tech.
Right.
And so at this point, at this day and age, if a man or a woman in the physical world wanted to go and build a house, wanted to buy property, build a house, they are regulated and permitted, and you have to do all of the hoop jumping, right?
Yep.
But AI just gets to run free, gets to just put whatever they want to in front of our kids. And I that burns me up so bad, because even good parents who, yes, there are people out there that just you put a phone or something in front of their kid all day long. But there are also people out there that know that we're not getting away from technology, and they use it every now and again, and then AI or big tech will just, you have an ad or something and they need to be held at such a harder level than they are. They need to be regulated so much more. And that's another thing that kind of just burns me, is that we're talking about data mining center, but we're not holding them accountable of what the damage they're already doing with these
Right.
tech things. So
Yeah.
that's something.
Yeah,
And
AI definitely needs some regulation, and it needs to be not limited to the federal government. This idea that, well, that Trump had that, well, we don't want the states regulating it. I'm glad to see there was some pushback on that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where that stands, but I would agree at the state level, we have to have some regulation, especially where the kids are concerned.
I've talked to our local law enforcement, and they're trying and they're doing all that they can. But this may come down to needing more funding on their end, because they need to be able to get ahead of this. I mean, this is, government's always about 10 years behind anyways. But in that 10-year span, we have kids that are really falling prey to all of this. And that really, my heart is for children. My heart is for this next generation. And yeah, for the local here, just local prosperity, the local economy. I really like the know your farmer, know your food initiative. I believe that is just, used to, when I was younger, you would go and you would go to a dairy farm. Well, there's next to zero dairy farms that even exist anymore. On a field trip or something.
Right.
And um and that should concern people, because these young people don't know where their food comes from, and then we want to fuss about that fact, but yet we're not doing anything to try to encourage that along. So I have a background in education. I have homeschooled our kids. We've private school, we've public school, we've done a billion different things. So, and my degree it was an interdisciplinary study, it was a liberal arts degree. But it was really on classical education and the benefits of uh, just searching for the good, the true, and the beautiful in education. And I believe that because of my just the different scopes and way of looking at education, that I could really help in that arena a little bit. So, yeah.
What would you
So,
do different? Than they're doing at the state level now.
well, um, one thing I would not want to do is they send down these mandates to our county budget,
Yeah.
For example, there's a pre-K program. That was something we just left from the county commission meeting. There's a pre-K program, or pre-K they mandate our county school systems to have, but they don't fund them. And so then they have to do it because it's mandated by the state. So, and there is no free lunch. So who's going to pay for that? Who's going
Yeah.
to pay for that? You're going to pay for it. Or I'm going to by property tax increase. I mean, that's the county commission. That's about their main revenue source is through those property taxes. So, it's a whole circle of an issue that I do not, that is one thing I do not think we should be mandating, sending any unfunded mandates. But there are some different aspects, like I don't know if you know about Montessori education. There's just a lot of different ways to educate out there. Hybrid schools are becoming a thing. And I believe we could do that underneath what we have kind of going on right now.
With less testing, though.
Oh, yes. Yes. I mean, absolutely. And it's not the teachers. It's the political bureaucracy that just thinks they know better than the people who are boots on the ground. It drives me nuts. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
What about vouchers? Where are you at on vouchers?
Sorry.
No
Hang
problem.
on.
Yeah, I know you had a bad storm there. Just so the audience know, you had a bad storm there, so we're actually talking to you in your vehicle because that's where you got light at. So
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. As far as vouchers go, that nobody in Northeast, nobody around here wanted them. Am I for school choice? Absolutely. But that was a really fiscally irresponsible move.
right.
So,
Did Representative Crawford vote for vouchers?
oh yes. Oh yes. And yes, and he told people he wasn't going to, and then he did. And so I think that's the frustrating part for people here locally is, um, if you're going to do it, just say that you're going to do it, and
Yeah.
and
And
don't.
defend your decision instead of telling him you're going to do one thing and do the other. But and you said I can't remember what committees he's on, but he's chair of at least a couple committees, I imagine. And that's the thing, the so-called leadership up there, they put people in charge of those committees, generally speaking, people that they can dictate to. So yeah, okay, you're the chair of committee X, but if you're not representing your people, if you're not upholding two things, upholding your oath and representing the people in your district, then that position is more about you than it is about serving the people, is the way I see it. And it seems to me so many of them get up there and they think, well, I work for the speaker or I work for the governor, and they seem to forget the people that put them there.
Yes, sir. You took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what the situation we have going on right here. And he's not had any opposition in about 10 years, I think. And it's just the principle of it that, and then there was that one where it made it harder for you to sue the government for any
Oh
constitutional.
yeah, House Bill 1971, Senate Bill 1958. Basically, the state can pass a on its face unconstitutional law, and no, you can't sue. You have to wait till you can show some sort of injury. And if you just read the beginning of our state constitution, it lists all of these things that are off limits from government regulation. And so to me, that violates that. I mean, that just violates the Constitution in general. And so he supported that as well, huh?
He was actually a co-sponsor for it. And then I believe this is just my assumption, but whenever he realized he had some opposition, he pulled his name off as co-sponsor, but then he ended up voting in favor of that. So,
And here's the thing, and people need to remember this. One of the few things our state government does a decent job of, they could do a little better, but is posting the bills. I mean, so we really need to, hear what they say and whatnot, but go see what they do, because it's all on the website. It's all in the record. And they do have video of the different committee meetings and whatnot. Now, it's not really good sometimes, like you won't see amendments until after they've been approved. So you may not know what's in the amendment that's been added to a bill. But there's enough out there. If people paid more attention, we could really put more pressure on them, but we need more people to do it. And we need people that are up there willing to call it out, so that the people back in the district know, hey, here's what's going on.
yeah. Yeah. Another issue is term limits. Many people are for term limits. And we were in a meeting recently where he said he was in favor of term limits, but his voting record, he has voted against term limits. So I don't know.
And so you do support term limits then?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I do. Yes, it just makes sense that it gives you that I got to get in here and I got to do whatever it is I'm going to do. I'm not going to be here forever. So, which we're not going to be here forever anyways. There is an eternal kingdom that we will all be and face our maker one day. So acting as if that we are going to be here forever and that we're going to be in this control and this power is really just not smart either.
So if you were elected, how long, what would you term limit yourself to?
I've thought about that. I think 10 years is a good number. Unless the people are sick of you before then, I'll just be asking them, telling them, say, just run somebody against me if you feel like you need to. But I believe that's a decent amount of time to have done what you. If you think like that, then while you're fighting for your people and you are representing them, you will also simultaneously, because you know that you need to get someone else in that spot that's going to also be a conservative Republican, then surely you're kind of hoping that you could kind of mentor and bring them in.
Keep your eye out for people that are, possible replacements. And
yeah, kind of, okay. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. So how's it going so far? What kind of response are you getting from the district there?
Oh, great response. I mean, people are just so ready for change. We have a healthcare monopoly up here too, and people are just not happy with that. He has voted to protect that healthcare monopoly for many years. And again, and that healthcare monopoly is funding him. He's got a lot of special interest group money, as you can imagine. And people are just so tired of just the career politics as usual. So I'm excited. I hope I'm able to get in there and fight for my people.
Right.
Yeah.
Have there been any reliable polls done?
I'm not sure there have been. I think there was one that went out. I don't know what the results are of that one. There was another one that went out, but there wasn't a very good, not very big. So right. We'll see. Probably, I would say that his camp will probably be polling it more because he's got lots of money to do that.
Oh, yeah. So. Yeah. Polls are not cheap. Especially a good poll is not cheap. Have you guys had any, or will you have any debates? Has there been any agreement to debate?
There has not been any agreement to a debate. We have spoken at forums, and that is not off of the table. We don't have anything set yet though. So
Right.
we shall see on that one. Yeah.
So how did the forums go? What kind of response did you get versus him, in your opinion?
Um, well, the forums are well, I mean, they were fine. They were Republican forums at the local Republican clubs. And so those were good.
Say no
Uh,
more.
yeah, but they were good. Yeah, everyone was kind.
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, are you pretty confident overall? You think you have a good chance?
Yeah, I mean, we're working hard, and I'm ready to serve the people here. I understand more about what government is now that I've been in, like, on the county commission. I don't understand everything that's on a state level. Obviously, you're going to understand more of it once you get into it.
Right.
But yeah, I want families to thrive right here at in our home. I believe strong families build strong communities. Uh, Actions speak louder than words,
Yeah.
and we need conservative leadership that actually shows up. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it seems like you would have a good, I mean, with your background, background in education. You said you're a physical trainer. You're a parent, grandparent. I think you said you had a farm. And
Yes.
did you mention a construction business?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, that's a lot of, you check a lot of boxes there. I mean, that some of that should match up with, a lot of people across the county. I mean, yeah, that's huge. Now, this district is just Sullivan County, right?
It is. It is. All of it is within Sullivan County. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And you're from there. You're not a carpetbagger.
Nope. No. Yeah. It's kind of exciting because, like I said, never in a million years thought I'd be doing this, and here we are. So, and I'm just excited. I hope that people will go to the ballot and vote for me, and excited to represent them. And yeah, so
Well, any closing thoughts? Anything you want to say to the people?
yeah. Oh, some other things I didn't talk about was I had a lot of dealings with Turning Point prior to Charlie Kirk's passing,
Mhm.
and so that was really interesting because Turning Point, regardless of what's going on now, they were really trying to make some intentional efforts, and they still are, with their Club America program,
Right.
to reach that next generation. And I believe that if the Republican Party was doing more like that, then we wouldn't be losing them like we are uh, to the other side of things. To Marxism and
Yeah.
socialism and all of the things. So I believe that element of my work can also help me to bring in some more young people. We need some young, fresh um, voices involved in this. And let's see here. So I'm a staunch. I was all about Charlie Kirk, and I led a prayer vigil here in our town and put that together in about 3 days. And
Was
we
that
just
for the prayer across Tennessee that Monty Fritz initiated, or was that something separate?
this was when Charlie Kirk was
Oh,
assassinated.
okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned the TPSU. Um, we definitely need things like that, especially until we can regain control of our schools, because our schools are just producing, and our universities for sure, they're just producing Marxists. That's all they're doing, is producing Marxists. I'm not saying everybody that comes out of there is a Marxist, but unless there's really something, unless they come from a strong family, or there's some other organization that's mentoring them, you just lose the next generation just like that, because the indoctrination is ingrained, and seems to be at all levels. So you definitely have to make an effort to get to those people, to the younger people.
Yeah. One of the when I first got on the county commission, one of my first initiatives was we did a mapping Marxism workshop at the county courthouse, because Marxism it is definitely sinking its claws into our society for sure. So I hope that people will look into who Karl Marx was and the where we are in the world, and
You
it's
know,
just
you're a good ways from Knoxville, but right outside of Knoxville, there's the Highland Center. And the Highland Center has been around at least, I want to say, at least since the 50s, maybe longer than that. And it's all about communists. It's all, and they're still there. And it's right outside of Knoxville. We don't really think about Tennessee, having that kind of stuff, but it has it, and it's had it for years.
yeah, and the Republican Party's just we're just asleep at the wheel. I mean, the fact that I think that party is growing, that communist. Am I
Yeah.
right? Say that?
Oh yeah. Well, they're growing, and you've got the whole Red Green Alliance. They're working with the Muslims. So you've got the Marxist and the Islamist, and they are working together to destroy our country. And we have to have legislators that recognize that and will attempt to do something about it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a it's a bad problem, and I'm telling you, I just want to get in there and fight, because I just see our kids just falling prey to it all, and it makes it just the mama bear inside me just gets really fired up.
Well, there's a lot to be fired up about. So you'll have plenty of things to work on if you get up there, and I hope you get up there. I hope it goes well for you. And we do have your website. We'll pop that up here, and I'm sure you wouldn't turn down any donations,
Oh, please, yes, no.
because campaigning is not cheap, no matter where you do it at.
No, yes, it's
And
much appreciative. I
yeah,
was gonna say, I don't know, on this channel, I feel like you kind of just want to know the real person and stuff, but sometimes people want to be like, well, she's just been on it for 4 years, but I have really grown a lot in the past 4 years, and I'm on the financial management committee on the county commission. I have really, I'm on the opioid abatement committee, education. There's so many committees that I'm on. So I have a deep understanding of how the county works, and that's what I plan to take to the state level, so that I can help our county rather than hurt. Because that's what happens on the state level. It's whatever they do or they don't do really affects what we do here on a county level. So
and a
yeah.
lot of county officials will tell you, well, hey, it's the state. It's not our fault. It's the state, or the state says. They'll
Hmm.
throw it on the state. Now, sometimes that's legitimate. Sometimes it's not.
Right.
But yeah, the counties are creations of the state in Tennessee, at least. Other states may be configured different, but counties are a creation of the states, and so they do have a lot of influence and a lot of power, to impact all of our counties. So, somebody could say, well, yeah, she's only got 4 years. I'm sure it didn't take you 4 years to figure out that a lot of our problems are caused by the state, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why I'm taking my fight there, because I'm very protective of my people, and I just want to make sure that they are continued to be protected, and that they're not just going to get whatever Nashville wants is not going to fly with me. It will be what we need up here in our little corner of Tennessee. So yeah, voting. I don't know about where you're at, but our early voting is July 17th to August 1st.
That's
Love
across the
to,
state. Yeah.
yep, love to ask for your vote if you live in my district. August 6th is election day. Love to ask for your vote. Would love to ask for you to join our team if you're interested. We have a great grassroots moving team. It's growing by the day. It's just really, it just, my heart just, it wants to explode because of how wonderful people are volunteering, wanting to pitch in to help. And then if you're not able to do either of those, I would love to ask you to contribute to our campaign, because I'm not backed by special interest group. The big boys aren't going to be going to be funding me, and that's okay. We love just anything anybody would like to donate. We'd be so grateful. And like to ask for your prayers above
Absolutely.
all. Yeah. And
Now, if somebody wanted to join, door knock for you or do whatever, where would they go on your website for that?
um let's see here. So they can email me.
Okay. Are you there? Hello? Okay. I think we may have lost her for just a minute. Anyway, well, it was good to have Jessica Means on tonight. She sounds like a true conservative, and I think she would be a good replacement for John Crawford. And most of those guys up there that have been here at any time, most of them have been compromised by this time. Generally speaking, as I said earlier, you don't get in one of those leadership positions unless they know you're pretty much going to do what they say. And they might let you stray here and there on certain things, but they expect you pretty much to toe the line. And it's the line that they want, the line that the governor wants, the line that big business wants, but not necessarily the line that the people in that district want.
Hello.
So, hello.
Oh.
Welcome back.
Oh, sorry, I lost signal.
That's fine. That's fine. It's good to have you back. Anything else you want to say? I know it's late. I know you've had a full day, but I just want to make sure that you have time to, if there's anything else you wanted to hit on that you thought of, or I noticed it said, on your website, it's got on the issues. I think we probably covered a lot of them, but if there's anything you want to hit, by all means do.
Yeah. It's like going to the doctor's office. When somebody asks you, you forget. Yeah, I'm not sure what all it, but I would say that I will be accessible to my constituents. I am just here to serve them. It should not be a situation where the government is, that people are afraid of the government. The government should be afraid of the people. And that's my thinking. And so,
Great.
yeah, this is a huge movement, and I'm just thankful for the supporters already, and hopefully we'll be able to win this, and I'll be getting to talk next time I talk to you will be when I'm state representative.
Oh, well, hey, good luck to you.
All right. Thank you.
And thank you for being with us, and you have a great night.
All right. You too. Thanks, David.
Take care. And thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Please share us with your friends. I do have a couple of announcements here for some events that are coming up. Monty Fritz at the Tullahoma Town Hall will be a live podcast Monday, June 22nd. It's at the Event Nook, 1940 North Jackson Street, Unit 200, Tullahoma, Tennessee, from 9 to 11 a.m. And that is going to be hosted by Kathy Henners from Daily Roll Call. We've had Kathy on several times. Good lady. Should be a great event. Check it out. It'll be good. I hope that I can tune in for that. And then our guest next Monday is G.R. Mobley at a regular time, 7 p.m. That's June 22nd. The founders left a plan, and we have not followed it for a long time. I guess you could say even for most of the time, but he writes on a site, reclaimingtherepublic.org, and he's got some insights. 4th of July is approaching. The Declaration of Independence, of course, mentioned all the numerous petitions that the colonists made and that were ignored by Parliament and the King. And we're going to talk about those petitions, and we're going to talk about some of the things that they did that we maybe need to consider doing in terms of petitioning and pressuring our elected officials. So that's this Monday, June 22nd at 7 p.m. Now, we will not have a show next Thursday. Also, if you haven't already done it, go to the TFA website, and there is a poll, 2026 gubernatorial straw poll, and go and take that poll. Now, this has been brought up. I know people are concerned. When you cast your vote on this poll and you hit the submit button, it's gonna delete any other prior vote. Okay, if I'm saying this correctly, because some people were voting for a certain candidate and they hit the submit and then they thought that it showed that they were voting for some other candidate, but that is not the case. Okay, so just go check out the poll, place your vote, and TFA is I support TFA member, and they're an honest organization, and they'll just report whatever the input is. Okay, so it's a good poll, good site, good people to trust there. So keep that in mind. Well, that is all we have for tonight. Once again, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you Monday, 7 p.m. Good night from Paris, Tennessee, that is.